Welcome to the HohO Show.
Rated the #1 most listened to podcast on Pluto. So join us now as we discuss news, politics, current events, and so much more. So clear the airwaves and strap in as we
defend the Constitution because freedom matters.
Broadcasting live from Weaponized Sloth Production Studio B. Welcome to the HohO Show, and as always, I'm your host, HohO. So how y'all's doing? I hope you're doing good. I really do. So I've got a huge update to announce, and I'll be doing that at the end of the show. In the meantime, we've got a lot of stuff to talk about today. Boy, howdy do we ever. We're going to be talking a little bit about AI, a tale of two people, Daniel Penny and Luigi. We're also going to be talking about pardons and what Biden has been doing on that front. And we're going to be talking about, of course, the drones. Because holy crap, there's a lot of drones. I mean, I'm just saying, there's a lot of drones. We're also going to be talking about the FBI, some information that has come out regarding that, and of which case, finally, we're getting some information coming out on that one. But before that, we're going to be talking about birthright citizenship and a little bit on debanking. And that's where we're going to be starting here. Let's see here. Let me go ahead and get this up. And of which case, you can also follow along over at thehohoshow.com. Just click on the newsfeed tab there, and you'll see the magazine over on Flipboard, which is my go-to hub for all things news. Now, y'all know how I like to start the show. I like to start with a little bit of satire, a little bit of funny, a little bit of ha-ha. And my go-to source of satire news is the Babylon Bee, because it's not just satire, it's satire with a purpose. So this one, headline: mysterious user Orange Man 47 snatches up all border wall materials in online auction. Holy cow, how awesome is that? So for those of you that don't know, one of the things that Biden has been doing recently is doing an online auction of the border wall materials that have yet to be used in the construction of the border wall. And, you know, this here satire thing talking about Orange Man 47 buying up those materials, in which case I thought that was funny. I really did. You know, it's just one more thing that Biden is doing in order to, you know, sabotage Trump's presidency. I mean, that's kind of what it amounts to, isn't it? That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like to me, that Biden is doing everything that he can in order to, you know, sabotage Trump's presidency. And hello, Dave, over there in Rumble. He says, good morning. Yes, good morning. I am excited. Yes, I am. All right, let's go ahead and continue. Let's get into a little bit of serious stuff here. Let me go ahead and Okay, so we're going to be talking about, you know, a few different things. We're going to start off with this whole debanking thing. So this headline comes from Just the News. Headline: 80% of voters think that banks shouldn't be allowed to shut down accounts of customers who buy guns. And you know what? I agree with that, but it goes bigger than that. It really does. It's a yeah, it goes bigger than that, because they're not just talking about, you know, oh, and hello, Brian, over there in YouTube land. It goes, not Biden, the traitor Obama. on what? Sabotaging Trump's presidency? Well, it's kind of both of them. Well, okay. I see your point. I really do. And I can't say as if I disagree. I mean, Biden's a head of cabbage. I mean, let's be honest about it, you know. For the most part, everything that's going on in Biden's presidency, it's not necessarily Biden that's doing that. It's those that are kind of pulling his strings. I mean, he's an empty shell. You know, he's an empty shell. He really is. Biden is an empty shell. I mean, come on. Of course there's somebody pulling the strings. Of course there is. And yeah, Obama. And I mean, there's others. I mean, well, for the most part, it's Obama. I mean, let's just be honest. It's Obama. Even if it's other people within the Obama sphere. Because, you know, I mean, if you look at, here's the thing. Let me get off this thing. Okay, there we go. If you take a look at, you know, if you're looking about people that are in his cabinet, in Biden's cabinet, and people that are in his sphere of influence, if you will, pretty much every single person in there is part of Obama's administration. Pretty much everybody. So, I mean, yes, he's the one that I would pretty much go as far as to say that, yes, he's pulling the strings. Everybody knows this, that, you know, Biden is basically Obama, you know, third term. That's more or less what it amounts to. We all know this. But anyway, back to this article. Talking about debanking, because that's what this amounts to. Now, I really hope that we see some laws put in place that basically ban banks from debanking people based off of their social networking stuff that they talk about, social media stuff, what they buy, because that's one of the things that they are wanting to do. And they've already started doing this, debanking various people. In fact, Donald Trump Jr. has been debanked, and other people as well. It's not just them. There's been other people that have been debanked, you know, because of their social media stuff, because of what it is that they're buying. That's why they keep track of this stuff. Holy crap. And I find it outrageous because, I mean, like, especially with this headline with people who buy guns, customers who buy guns. This is a Second Amendment thing. I mean, this is a constitutionally protected thing. And you're telling me that if I buy a gun, then the bank that I use can debank me. Now, here's the thing. I would definitely keep an eye out on people whom are debanking people, you know, banks that are doing this. And I would move my money elsewhere. Because if this is what they're going to do, whether they are doing this at the behest of, you know, leftist news organizations, the FBI, whomever, if they're doing this because of them, then we really don't want to be part of that bank. We just don't. I mean, come on, think about it. Do you really want to be part of a bank that is going to punish you for exercising your constitutional rights? You know, whether it be, you know, what you're talking about on social media, freedom of speech, whether it be about what it is that you buy, you know, guns, camping equipment, you know, prepping tools, you know, things that are, you're able to do this, you're able to buy this, it's constitutionally protected, things that you can own, nothing illegal about it. And as long as you're not promoting or talking about things that are illegal, and even still, I mean, debanking somebody based on that, you know, allow the criminal system to do its job. A bank does not need to operate like that. I mean, that's far reaching. I don't like it. But yeah. And I don't have in front of me any banks that has debanked people. I don't have a list of any of those right here in front of me, or other people that have. And I know this is something that I've talked about in the past with debanking. Whenever I talked about this, And actually, this article says that Wells Fargo Bank earlier this year closed the accounts of individuals who was a gun manufacturer, not just buying guns, but gun manufacturers. Huh, that's interesting. All right, moving on. So yeah, I don't agree with this practice. And whenever I find more information on this as far as different banks that have been debanking people, I will post this, make this available for everybody. And this way you can be aware and, move your money elsewhere if you want to, because it is high time that Republicans, that libertarians, that conservatives start voting with their wallets. That's something that the left is pretty good about doing. They love to cancel people. They love to boycott. They love to do all kinds of things. But that's something you really don't see out of the right. You really don't. For one reason or the other, and part of which is we're grown-ass adults. And, let's face it, man, a sad truth. If you boycott people that are in companies, businesses, whatever, that are left-wing radical people, we're not going to be able to spend our money in a lot of different places. We're just not. It's sad, but it's true. If we stay away from left-wing people, DEI crap, there's just not going to be a lot of options for us, That's why I am definitely happy about places like Rumble, True Social, X. I'm definitely happy about these different types of places and different news organizations that I have, because they are either center or, they have a belief in the First Amendment and different things of that nature. And in which case, yeah, we should. But yeah, if we boycotted, if we, canceled, if we stopped using left-wing places, we wouldn't have a whole heck of a lot places that we can go to. We really wouldn't. All right, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. And just a couple minutes and I will be right back.
Walking down the street with a smile so coy, feeling like a king, not a single decoy. But then it slips out, silent but deadly. Everyone around just looks at me dreadfully. In the elevator with a loaded mask, silent escape, sure it wasn't first class. Trying to act cool like nothing's wrong, but everyone knows it's a stinky song. Silent but deadly, creeping through the air. People holding noses everywhere. Moments of peace torn apart, all from the art of a silent fart. In a crowded room, I let one go, hoping no one noticed, but it's a show. Faces start to twist and turn. Maybe next time I'll be more concerned. Oh, the shame, the awkward dance, playing with fate in the fart romance. Wishing I could just disappear, but laughter breaks out, conquering the fear. Silent but deadly, creeping through the air. People holding noses everywhere, where moments of peace torn apart, all from the art of a silent fart. Of a silent fart. Of a silent fart.
Do you work at any of the myriad of jobs where you might have to sit on your bum all day? Well, if so, maybe you know what it's like to suffer from the condition known as swamp ass. Well, if so, have I got the solution for you.
Anti-monkey butt powder.
That's right.
Anti-monkey butt powder.
You can use it indoors, outdoors, work or play, or on any occasion when you sit on your bum all day. Don't let your buns get red. Use anti-monkey butt powder instead. Available wherever anti-friction powder is sold. All right, and we are back. Yeah, I apologize for that early break. Them water pills, man, sometimes they're killer. They really are. They're killer. Anyway, let's go ahead and get right back into it. I got a quick question for you. How do y'all feel about daylight savings time? Do you like it? Are you against it? Do you think it's outdated? What's your view on it? Because personally, I would like to see it go bye-bye. I really would. I would like to see it completely thrown away because, I don't see the point of it. I really don't. And in a matter of speaking, I never really did. They say that it was meant for like farmers to help them out, but at the same time, it's like, dude, you get put on the clock, whether it be livestock or whatever. The animals don't know that time changed. They don't get that. They think that you're either feeding them an hour early or you're feeding them an hour late. Either way you look at it, they don't really like it all that much. I don't see the point in it. And one of the things that Trump is talking about is ending daylight savings time, and of which case, I'm all for it. I really am. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm all for ending daylight savings time. I don't see the point. And it's also one of the things, too, that like based off of, like medications, for instance, because some medications are very much time sensitive. And with some of them, you've got to, adjust things, and it may take, like a month, a couple weeks to reset the schedule of these medications to where you're back on track where you're supposed to be. Holy crap. It's ridiculous. I've never seen the point of daylight savings time. I really don't. The animals don't like it. Medications don't like it. I just don't see the point. What's the purpose of daylight savings time anymore, especially in today's day and age? What's the purpose? Really, let me know. I have absolutely no idea. It doesn't make much sense to me. All right, so y'all know how I feel about the Constitution. Oh, wait. Defending the Constitution. That's why we're here. Yes, it is. Let me check on that. Okay, we're good. This headline that I've seen from iHeartRadio is actually talking about birthright citizenship. That's what it's talking about. Oh, Brian put in there, he goes, why did Obama buy a house 1 mile from the White House to keep on running the show? Yeah, you know what? You got a point. Obama really did. He, yeah, because he doesn't just have a place in Chicago, and I don't remember if he still has his place in Chicago, because I know he's got a home in Martha's Vineyard. I know he's got a home in Hawaii, and of course he's got a house there in D.C., but I don't know if he still has his home in Chicago. I'm really not sure on that one. I don't know if after he got, elected, I know he did whenever he was a congressman because he was an Illinois congressman, and of which case, I'm sorry, America. But after he got elected as president, I have no idea if he actually kept that house, if he sold that house. I have no idea. It's hard telling. It really is. Anyway, let's get back into it. Birthright citizenship. Now, this is something that is possibly on the cutting block. It's something that Trump is talking about, ending birthright citizenship. And in all honesty, there's nothing that is anti-constitutional about it, if we're being perfectly honest. Because the whole thing regarding birthright citizenship doesn't have anything to do with people migrating to America, whether it be illegal aliens or whether it be legal citizens. There's nothing unconstitutional about stopping birthright citizenship. Here's the thing. Birthright citizenship came about as part of the civil rights movement, part of the 14th Amendment, and the whole purpose of it was to ensure that slaves former slaves were able to vote. That's the whole purpose of the thing. So there's nothing unconstitutional about the whole birthright citizenship, about denying that, because, and here's another thing about it too, and we've talked about this in the past. Everywhere in the world, whenever it comes to citizenship, you are automatically considered a citizen of whatever country your parents are from. So if you're on vacation somewhere and you give birth outside the U.S., your child doesn't have to apply for citizenship. They're automatically considered a citizen because the parents are citizens. And as long as you have one American citizen parent, then you're a citizen of the United States. That's how it's considered. And if you are of a foreign nation giving birth here in the U.S., your child isn't considered a U.S. citizen by that country. They're considered a citizen of wherever their parents are citizens of. So if somebody from Mexico comes up, gives birth, that child, according to the Mexican government, is considered Mexican. They're not considered American. They are considered Mexican citizens. And of which case, we do that at the detriment of our own country, don't we? We really do. But of course, I am sure that Trump is going to get a lot of pushback on this. I'm sure he is. He's going to get all kinds of pushback on this because that's one of the things that has been used and abused. There are, Chinese are guilty of doing this with anchor babies. I mean, they'll they have buildings, hotels that are dedicated to this right here, birthright citizenship, taking advantage of America. That's what it amounts to. I mean, it's amazing how on so many fronts we allow other countries to take advantage of us. And really, should we be surprised that this is another aspect, And I really hope, this is a thing of why Trump got reelected, because there's so much crap going on in the world. America is getting taken advantage of, and it's all because it's all because we have representatives in this country that really don't give a shit about America. Presidents, congressmen, they don't really care about America. I mean, they really don't. It's a sad but true thing, and all the while, the people whom are being hurt the most is taxpayers. It's us. It's you and me. We're the ones whom, all our money goes elsewhere. It's ridiculous. It really is. Trump's going to get pushback on this. He absolutely is. This headline that I seen from the Daily Signal, and of course, okay, there it is. Another aspect of being a citizen is with voting. You got to be a citizen to be able to vote in a federal election. Different states can have their own rules regarding, state election, but whenever it comes to the federal election, the law is simple. In order to be a legal voter, you have to be a legal citizen. Period. End of story. That's just the way that it is. This headline from the Daily Signal: Battleground Michigan set to debate citizen-only voting initiative. Why is this an initiative? Holy crap. I need to silence my phone, apparently. I did not silence my phone. There we go. Now it is silenced. Woohoo. Why is this even a debate? Why is it you have, the federal government, like in the case of, what was it, Virginia? That that Virginia took off non-citizens from the voter roll, and the federal government was like, oh, no, you can't do that. You got to keep them on there. Wait a second. If they're non-citizens, then they're not supposed to be voting in the first place. Their name needs to be gone off that list. I mean, it's ridiculous, isn't it? I think it's ridiculous. And the whole reason why they're wanting them on there is to cheat. Let's be honest. That's the whole entire purpose. They're wanting to cheat. They're wanting to make it easier for them to do so. It's just, it's come on. Why are we even talking about it? Of course, it's the truth. That's what they're, yeah. It's about cheating. That's why they want that. Ooh, hey, wait a second. Don't pay any attention to that. All right, let's go ahead and get back into this. We got other things. Okay, yep. Birthright citizenship, the Constitution never required it. That's the truth. And, should we go ahead and take another quick break, or should I just go ahead and hop into the next story, Yeah, we'll take a quick break. There's a song I'm wanting to put in here anyway. Y'all's going to love this one. This is funny. All right, just a couple minutes and I'll be right back. No going nowhere.
Woke up in the dark 3 a.m. Covered in mess, can't pretend life ain't pretty, feeling low. Gotta clean up, here I go. Dig down, hit the sheets. Barely an hour, more repeats. Eyes wide open, disgusted scene. Foul nightmare, rude routine. Why me? Life so mean. Shitstorm twice, it's insane. Curse my guts, my rotting way. Put on diaper in this fray. Cleaned up once, cleaned up twice. No more second thoughts, it's a vice. Diaper snug tight just in case. Another round, can't face disgrace. Waking up, dawn's early light. Miracle, no mess in sight. Dark humor in this plight. Finally rest, sleeps in sight. Why me? Life so mean. Sets on twice, it's insane. Curse my guts, my rotten way. Put on diaper in this free. Once, cleaned up twice. No more second thoughts, it's a vice. Diaper snug tight just in case. Another round, can't face disgrace. Waking up, dawn's early light. Miracle, no mess in sight. Dark humor in this plight. Finally rest, sleeps in sight. Why me? Life so mean. Shitstorm twice, it's insane. Curse my guts, my rotten way. Put on diaper in this fray.
Do you love your occasional Mexican dish or your musical fruit? Are you tired of walking by family members and crop dusting them? Well, if this has ever happened to you, might I introduce you to Tampons brand butt plugs. Tampons brand butt plugs is that particular type of butt plug that allows you to walk in public in confidence knowing that you're not going to accidentally crop dust somebody. Tampons brand butt plugs now with the plastic applicator.
Not just for women anymore.
Tampons brand butt plugs. All right, and we are back. So this segment, we're going to be talking about, we're going to be talking about the FBI. Yeah, we're going to be talking about the FBI. So this headline from Newsmax, actually, report FBI Director Wray preparing to resign. And as you probably already know, that he already has. After Donald Trump had notably appointed or named Kash Patel as a new director of the FBI, Christopher Wray, he decided to go ahead and step down. You know, and what was kind of funny was you had people going, oh, it's a 10-year term. You should let him, finish out the term and whatnot. And of which case, it's not a 10-year term. It's a 10-year limit on how long the director of the FBI can serve as director of the FBI. It's a limit. It's not a term. And here's the thing. I mean, the president, why doesn't he have the right, the ability, the power to determine who it is that's going to be in these various departments? Because, I mean, let's face it. They serve at the pleasure of the president, or at least that's how it's supposed to be. They're supposed to be serving at the pleasure of the president because they are, might I remind you, part of the executive branch. The FBI is part of the executive branch. Who's the head of the executive branch? Oh, yeah, that's the president of the United States of America, and of which case the incoming president is Donald J. Trump. And of which case, why doesn't he have the power to determine? He should be able to do this. He really should be. But yet they're trying to fight him every which way they possibly can. And, okay, well, that was just kind of, so, this headline, or at least this from MSNBC, is Kash Patel is obviously unqualified and obviously inconsistent with FBI values. Okay. As far as unqualified goes, I mean, look, have y'all paid attention to, some of the appointments that the Democrats have had, that Obama had, that Biden had? I mean, you're talking about people who were put in roles that have absolutely no history of anything that they are in. None whatsoever. They don't have a history of being part of what it is they're, supposed to be running. No history of it whatsoever. And yet it's okay that, the Democrats do this. It's okay that they appoint people that are unqualified, that have never worked in the industry or in the, area that they're being put over. But yet for some reason, everybody that Republicans appoint need to be qualified. What does that mean? What does that even mean? It's ridiculous. It's a double standard. And should we be surprised whatsoever about double standards? No, we shouldn't be. This headline from Raw Story: Republican says McConnell fired a warning shot to Trump nominees. You're not automatic. And, I have a problem with this. I really do. Now, this is something I've talked about in the past, that I have a deep respect for Democrats. I really do. Now, before you condemn me for saying that, just wait, hold up. I have a very deep respect for Democrats. I really do. Because no matter what, no matter if they are in the majority or the minority, they will fight like hell to get their agenda pushed forward, to get their candidates placed, to get their, the nominees positioned. They will fight like hell to do this. No ifs, no ands, no buts. That's what they do. Time and time again, that's what they do. They make sure that their nominees get positioned. They make sure that their agenda moves forward. It doesn't matter if they're in the majority or the minority. When they're in the majority, they push it all. And if they're in the minority, they push their agenda. They fight like hell. I have the utmost respect for Democrats for doing that. Now, granted, I'm glad that the Republican Party isn't what's that word I'm looking for? That it's not an echo chamber. That everybody has their different points of view. And I'm grateful for that. I really am. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, it's like, holy crap, people, why do we got to fight so freaking hard? Why do we got to fight so much amongst ourselves whenever it comes to getting our own agenda passed? Whenever it comes time to getting our own, I forgot to shut the door. Getting our own agenda passed, getting our own nominees put into position. Why do we have to fight like hell with our own people just to get these things done? It's ridiculous. It shouldn't happen. You don't see this kind of activity coming from Democrats. You just don't. You don't see this coming from Democrats. They fight like hell to make sure that their agenda is moved forward, to get their nominees in position. And yet, whenever it comes to the Republican Party, we fight with ourselves. Mitch McConnell saying that these people aren't automatic. I want to know why not. I want to know why we as a Republican Party just allow these kind of things to happen. Because, let's face it. For anybody that says that the Republicans actually have a majority in either house, upper house, lower house, Senate, House of Representatives, it doesn't matter. To say that Republicans have a majority, well, in all honesty, we don't. We don't. I'm sorry. We don't. Because we fight with ourselves. Because there are far too many Republicans that are rhinos. Far too many Republicans that are actually Democrats. We have to fight with them. Because the fact of the matter is, Trump, he got a mandate to govern. Put his nominees in. And I really am impressed with some of the things that I've been hearing recently. With the power of the new media. I'm pretty excited about that. I really am. The power of the new media, because it's not legacy media that holds the power anymore. The ratings of CNN, of MSNBC, of CBS, of all these legacy news outlets, their ratings have plummeted. They don't have the support they once did. And whenever it comes with CNN, the only thing that really keeps them relevant is the fact that so many different places, that's what they show all the time. You go to an airport, they got the news on. What are they playing? CNN. Why? I don't know. Their own people don't even listen to CNN anymore. Democrats are getting tired of being lied to by legacy news. That's how bad legacy news is doing. It truly is sad, isn't it? I think it's sad. I very much think it's sad. Just let his nominees in. If you don't like him, you can always get rid of him later. You have the power of impeachment. And you're going to have so many different people on the Democratic side that are going to be behind you. So if you don't like them, if they do something you really don't like, well, then just let them in. You can impeach them later. And when you think about it, how many of Biden's nominees didn't make it? Received bad press. You know, how many of them did Biden have to fight in order to get him in? How many people that Obama nominated did he have to fight to get them in? Well, he didn't. Because Democrats support Democrats. It doesn't matter as long as you got a D next to your name. Doesn't matter. They don't care. Moving on. This next headline is something that I hope you've been paying attention to. I really do. Because this is something that for me, we have known. We really have. Everybody has known, you know, if you've been paying attention to any of the interviews that have been done with FBI director, various people in the FBI from Congress, if you paid any attention to that whatsoever, then you already know what has happened. You're not surprised about the bombshell report that has been talked about. This from Fox News. The Justice Department just released a bombshell report that we've been waiting for. Is it really? Is it really a bombshell? I mean, yeah, they come out and admitted it. But is it really a bombshell? No, because if you've been paying attention, if you're somebody who's conservative, if you're a Republican, then you already know. Especially with how they have answered different things. Refusing to answer, refusing to give a definitive answer on it, just talking in platitudes and not giving up any information whatsoever, then we're not surprised because we already knew that there were FBI informants at the Capitol on January 6th. We already knew this. This headline from Just the News: FBI had 26 resources in D.C. on January 6th. 17 of them entered the Capitol grounds. Huh? 17 of them entered the Capitol grounds? Yeah. You had some of them that entered into restricted spaces. 13 of them actually entered the restricted area at the Capitol. 4 entered the Capitol during the riot. Uh-huh. Yeah. Of course, we're not surprised. Of course, we're not surprised on this. Because we already knew. But here's the thing, and this is the thing that actually kind of ticks me off, because, you know, you have the double standard, the hypocrisy, you know, because these people, they weren't prosecuted. I mean, maybe one of them was. You know, who was that guy? Ray Epps. But Ray Epps, I don't believe Ray Epps seen any jail time whatsoever. But yet you have grandma that got let in, prayed, and then walked back out again. She got arrested. She got, you know, paraded in front of her neighbors and her neighborhood, everything else. I mean, it's just the double standard is ridiculous. I mean, these are the things that we shouldn't be surprised about. We already knew these things, and finally, they're releasing this information. 26 sources in D.C., 17 of which entered the Capitol grounds. Holy crap. Is this really a bombshell? What do you think? Is this bombshell information? Dave put in here, he goes, I respect Democrats too. I also like teeny weeny dogs. They fit in a purse whose feet never touch the ground. That's freaking hilarious. You crack me up. But yeah, I do. I respect Democrats for that reason. Anyway, let's continue into this. So yeah, 26 sources in D.C. 4 entered the Capitol. 13 entered restricted areas around the Capitol. The biggest problem is, according to sources, these confidential human sources were never given the authority, the power, the right to go ahead to break the law, enter into any restricted area, anything like that, but yet you have them that done that, confirmed, they're coming out and they're admitting to it, but yet you have nothing has happened with any of these 26 people that were in D.C. They used everything at their disposal to go after and prosecute people some of whom weren't even in D.C. on January 6th. They've went after and prosecuted everybody they possibly could. And yet you have these 26 people that nothing has happened to. Now I can at least halfway understand the whole, the ones that didn't go in, didn't do anything. I can at least understand that one. But the 4 who entered the Capitol, the 13 that went into restricted area around the Capitol, then why aren't they being punished? Why aren't they being arrested? Why aren't they sitting in a jail cell somewhere like other people have for the past almost 4 freaking years? Why is nothing happening to them? It's the double standard. Out of control FBI that need to be held accountable for the crap that's going on. And as I already talked about, Washington Examiner, the headline, Horowitz, January 6th report, discredits theories about Ray Epps. Discredits the theories? We all know that he's a CI. Confidential human informant. We already know this. Why? Because we paid attention to how he was treated. How his allegations just kind of went by the wayside. We seen what happened. Were we really surprised? No. No, we weren't. At least I wasn't surprised. We have political prisoners in our country right now. I mean, we are acting like a banana republic, aren't we? We really are. Because you have the Obama administration, Biden administration, that the FBI, the Department of Homeland Security, the Justice Department, that they were weaponized to go after conservatives, to go after pro-lifers, to go after Catholics, to go after Republicans in general. This is wrong on so many levels. Kind of like loving an elevator. Wrong on so many levels. And maybe people are waking up to what's going on. Maybe that's why Trump actually won the majority vote. I just hope that we're able to turn the tide. I just hope that we are able to do something about these various departments, those that have been weaponized, that we can get rid of the bloated government that we have. I mean, holy crap. It really is ridiculous, people. With how many people that work for the government, with their powers, different ability, with their pay, with some of the stuff that is going on with where our money goes as taxpayers. I mean, you have, this is ridiculous, isn't it? You have people still in North Carolina that are intense. That there are communities that have built shelters that can't get them delivered because, well, the right people weren't getting paid off. They weren't inspected. They weren't, pre-approved housing. They weren't, what the fuck ever. People that are intense. All the while, you have Joe Biden who's now, come out and said that we're going to give, millions and millions of dollars to Africa for people that are, displaced because of weather. Really? What the hell did you do for American citizens? This is our money. Why is it going to everywhere else but America? I mean, we talked last week about, Hurricane Helene, with FEMA being directed to pass by houses, ignore houses, not provide aid to people that had Trump signs or conservative things outside their houses. And we accept this? Governed by the consent of the governed. Do you really consent to what's been going on? Hopefully, we can change the direction. Hopefully, we can do something. Trump's been given a mandate. We need to let these representatives know that they are not our leaders. They are our representatives. They are not in charge. We are. This election has let something out the bag that I don't think these people wanted out the bag. We're not in the minority. We are in the majority. The Democrats are even losing touch of their own electorate. They don't have the power that they thought they once did. Legacy media doesn't have the power they once did. The Democrat Party does not have the power that they once did. Hopefully, during the next year, 2 years max is all the president has to really do a lot to fix it. And the biggest thing that we got to keep in mind is that it doesn't end with Donald Trump. This has to be a movement to clean up government, to cut down the size and scope, because government's bloated. Government's too big. A big government, federal government, means restriction on freedoms and rights. The bigger the government, the more restrictions you're going to have. We've gotten comfortable with the big government. And now we see the downside. Now we've been seeing what can happen when they go out of control. And hopefully we can fix it. We don't have long. We got to get it going. We really do. We ain't got that much time. Let me go ahead and check a few things. Here we go. Dave says that there was a drone this morning over my car on Route 9W in Kingston, New York at 10 a.m. Clear skies. Saw it clearly. Huh. That is interesting, sir. A drone. Now, was it one of them big drones or, that they've been seeing sightings of, or what was it? Let me know in the comments. I am curious about that. And of which case, that's what we are going to be talking about next, is the drones in the next segment. Holy crap. They're just, I'm curious about some things. And I don't believe the government. I don't believe, I have a hard time believing him. I really do. And we're going to be talking about that right after this. Don't go anywhere.
In the dark of my bedroom, I'm picking my nose in gloom. Out the shadows there he looms, a monster's ugly doom. Booger monster takes a bite, no more picking through the night. Cries of terror taking flight, Booger monster wins the fight. Finger deep in cavern cold, monster's tales begin unfold. In his grip I lost my hold, fear I couldn't dare be bold. Echoed whispers in my ear, Booger's gone replaced by fear. Hope is standing nowhere near, monsters grin from ear to ear. Booger monster takes a bite, no more picking through the night. Cries of No more picking through the night. Cries of terror taking flight. Booger monster wins the fight. Finger deep in cavern cold, monster's tails begin unfold. In his grip I lost my hold. Fear I couldn't dare be bold. Echoed whispers in my ear. Boogers gone replaced by fear. Hope is standing nowhere near. Monsters grin from ear to ear. Booger monster takes a bite. No more picking through the night. Cries of terror taking flight. Booger monster wins the fight. Finger deep in cavern cold, monster's tails begin unfold. In his grip I lost my hold. Fear I couldn't dare be bold. Echoed whispers in my ear. Boogers gone replaced by fear. Hope is standing nowhere near. Monsters grin from ear to ear. Booger monster takes a bite. Lesson learned in shadows thick. Monster's nastiness so slick. If you pick, just know the trick. Pull away or face the kick. When the wind hits me like a dragon's snore, my kilt flutters high and howls for more. I feel the cold, but I stand tall. In a kilt so proud I never fall.
Through the snow I march with glee.
Have you ever been so full of it your eyes are brown? Have you ever sat on the toilet but nothing comes out? Is a box of frosted shredded wheat just not doing the trick? Well, have I got the ultimate solution for you. Tide Pod Brand Colon Cleanse. See, Tide Pod Brand Colon Cleanse is that particular product that will break through the sphincter like the Kool-Aid Man through a brick wall. Oh yeah! No more irregularity, no more cramping, just good old nice flow. That's right, Tide Pod Brand Colon Cleanse. Please use responsibly and use at home. This is a fast-acting product now available in Tropical Punch. And we're back. All right, so we're going to go ahead and jump into this because we are talking about the drones. Now, for those of you that don't know, there has been a lot of drone sightings over on the East Coast, specifically around New Jersey and in places in New York, and of which case it's been going on for a while. And I did not previously know this. I mean, this is something that just hit the news like just this past week. But these sightings have actually been going on for a while. These sightings date back to like the 15th or the 18th of November. It's been going on for a while. And nobody seems to know where these drones are coming from. I mean, that's the sad part. Okay. Everybody is saying that they're not ours. Okay. The military base over in New Jersey, they've come out and stated that they're not ours. It's not testing, drone testing that we're doing. It's nothing like that. The Secret Service has denied it. It's not us. The Pentagon has said it's not us. Everybody is saying that it's not us. We don't know whose they are. We had there was a hearing, or at least a presser or something, and, several people were there. That you had the Congress people, governors, whatever, and they were, a press conference that they had about them, talking about them, letting people know what's going on. And, I don't remember who it was. I really don't. I wish I did, but I don't. But they said that, this was a complete waste of time. It took this gentleman like 2 hours to get there. He sat there for an hour, didn't learn anything, and then 2 hours back home, he said it was the biggest waste of my time that I've ever had. Biggest waste of time. 5 hours lost of his life that he will never get back, and he didn't learn anything. Now, here's the thing. We basically have... No. I don't want to get there yet. I don't want to get there just yet. This headline from the Daily Wire: let the public know, and now Trump speaks out on the mystery drone sightings. I mean, come on. It's, here's the thing. This is causing a huge uproar, okay? Because they're speaking out of both sides of their ass, aren't they? That's basically what they're doing, because they're claiming that, these drones aren't a threat to anybody, but at the same time, it's like, we have no idea where they're coming from and whose they are and what their intent is. We have absolutely no idea. Both of those things can't be true. You can't say that they're not a threat and we have no idea whose drones they are. If you don't know whose drones that they are, then you don't know if they're a threat. Logical, right? I mean, who would have thunk it? Using a little bit of logic, And another thing that I heard, something new, is that, and this one, I tell you what, especially whenever they've come out and said that, they're not a threat, that they're not a risk to public safety, now I've been hearing some things about, if one gets down, you're supposed to stay away from it, that they're supposed to have, bomb squad calling them. You're supposed to be careful of radiation. You're supposed to have, respirators on. If you're in the area, you need to back up and get out of the immediate area, all kinds of things. And it's like, dude, if they're not a threat, then why are you giving us all these warnings on things that we're supposed to do? And we're supposed to stay back and wear respirators and have a giganometer, a Geiger counter. That's that word I'm looking for. Beware of radiation. Why are you telling us this and telling us that there's nothing to be afraid of? These are not a risk to public safety. Both of these things cannot be true. You can't claim one while warning about another. It doesn't work like that. But that's what they're doing, and they expect us to just believe them. They expect them to just believe. Now, I've gotten several articles about this from NJ.com. What are the mystery drones hovering above New Jersey? Here's what 3 experts say. From Cairo, K-I-R-O News Radio. The newsroom obtains video of mysterious drones. And, here's the thing, too, because they're not just over in New Jersey. They're not just over in Washington, and one of which doing, whatever. But they've also been sighted over on the West Coast as well. They've been spotted in Washington State. Interesting, isn't it? This headline from Politico. Lawmaker accuses Pentagon of lying about the New Jersey's mysterious drones. Yeah, I mean, gee, can we really trust them to tell us the truth? I mean, come on. I mean, that's actually kind of the thing. I mean, why are we surprised that they're not telling us anything? I mean, really, why are we surprised? And the biggest question is, why aren't they taking them down? Here's the thing, okay? Now, you have basically a couple different scenarios here, two major scenarios, maybe 3. But only one of which actually makes sense, just to be honest with you. So, possibility number 1. It is a private company that is doing testing on, the range, on usability, kind of like Amazon with their, drone delivery service that they're wanting to do. So, I mean, yeah, this is possible, right? This is possible. The other possibility is, it's finally you've got the Secret Service that are waking up and using, tomorrow's technology tomorrow. They're actually going about and doing what they should be doing, proactively, what have you. That would be awesome. The government just testing, drone technology, doing different types of testing, and of which case, okay. Another possibility is, and this one to me is the most likely possibility, is that these are foreign drones invading our airspace. I didn't say that very well. Airspace. Testing the waters, doing research, recon, what have you. And that to me is the most likely scenario. It really is. I mean, think about it. Go back into the Wayback Machine. Do you always remember the weather balloon, the Chinese weather balloon from a while back ago? This is something that they were tracking from the word go, our federal government, and they hid it from us. They were following it ever since it crossed the Bering Strait, coming into Alaska, crossing down from Canada, and then navigating throughout the country. They didn't do anything about it then. I mean, it's not like Alaska is a huge, densely populated space, right? I mean, it's really not. They had all kinds of opportunities to shoot it down. But no. The government allowed this Chinese weather balloon to go through the entire country. Not entire country. I'm being, whatever. But y'all know what I'm saying. Go through the country, hover over and record things on, with various sensitive sites, recording, radio communications, which, by the way, your cell phone is a radio communicating device. How much information did they get a hold of? How much stuff did they hack into? Do we know? No, we don't. And the government let it happen. The government hid it. Wouldn't talk about it. Didn't do what the government should have done, and that was shoot the thing down long before it ever got over any sensitive locations. And the moment it even crossed into U.S. airspace. But did they take care of it? No. They lied to the American people about it from the word go. The government's good about doing that. That's one of the reasons why I think it is a foreign adversary that's doing this. There's a lot of talk saying that it's Iran, and of which case, I don't know, probably not, but, whatever. More than likely it's China. But there is accounts, and there's been, people that have seen, like 50 plus drones coming in from the ocean. It's like, yeah. I can believe that. I mean, they got to be coming from somewhere, right? There's reports of them going over critical infrastructure, bridges and whatever, going over air bases and different places of that nature. One of them was hovering over like one of Trump's properties. Even following Coast Guard. A lot of different people has been talking about these drones for a while. Sightings again dating back to like November 15th or November 18th. They've been around for a while. The sad thing is that they're claiming that they don't know anything, and of which case bullshit. Just saying. I don't believe him. I don't believe him in the least. I really don't. I mean, you're going to tell me that the federal government doesn't know where these drones are coming from. I mean, do you even realize how ridiculous that sounds? I mean, think about it. When it comes to logistics, this country has it down, right? I mean, we got it down. I mean, dude, you can buy something like I'm in Central Illinois. I could buy something for California and it's here within, 3 days. That's amazing. We've got logistics figured out, and we have our airspace locked down. We really do. I mean, do you realize how hard it is to get away with something in U.S. airspace? Whether it be flying a private plane or helicopter or a drone. I mean, if you are in restricted airspace, and then they know who you are, they will track you down, and it's done. You'll be thrown in jail. You'll be fined. You'll be talked to, of course. They keep track of this stuff. I mean, how many airplanes do we have in the air at any given time? They keep track of what is where. You've got various jurisdictions with, air traffic control. You have restricted airspace around, sensitive infrastructure, around bases, all kinds of different places. They keep track of our airspace. And you mean to tell me that after a month, we don't know where these drones are coming from, where they're going back to? You mean to tell me that with all of the stuff that we have, all of the resources at the federal government's disposal, trillions of dollars that have been spent in defense, you mean to tell me that they don't know who's responsible for these drones? I beg to differ. Bravo, Sierra, they know. I've heard it tossed around that it's actually the federal government that's doing this, and of which case I really don't think so. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think so, and let me tell you why. It's because of some of the places that these drones are going to. Okay? A PSYOP, I don't think so. Because if it was a PSYOP, they'd be doing things different. But what are they doing? What are the drones doing? They're following, various, Coast Guard, following various ships. They are hovering over critical infrastructure, bridges, buildings, things of that nature. They are, looking at, they're looking at, what's that word I'm looking for? Bases, military bases, armories, what have you. These are clearly look like they're doing recon missions. I mean, that's what it looks like they're doing. And these aren't like little bitty hobby drones either. Okay. I mean, I've got a hobby drone. All right. I got a hobby drone. I got a DJI Mavic Mini. It's a hobby drone. It's got a camera on it. It doesn't have a huge range. It's not very powerful. It's not going to go miles and miles and miles. You wouldn't want to fly this thing over water. That's for damn sure. But, it's a hobby drone. These drones aren't hobby drones. They range in different sizes. Some of them are about the size of a golf cart, a small car. These aren't hobby drones. They're doing recon missions. And the fact that we know, based off of some reporting that's coming out of Ukraine regarding, Russia attacking various places with drones, this is highly suspicious and definitely scary, considering we know what is possible with drones these size on what can be on them, and we don't know. We don't know. They could be bringing these drones over here to attack us. They could simply be doing recon missions. Fact of the matter is, we don't know. But I guarantee you that the federal government knows. I have a hard time believing that they have no idea what the heck's going on. I really don't. I don't buy it. With the amount of money that's been spent, the fact that they knew about the China weather balloon and they didn't do shit about it, and they didn't warn the American people, nothing. I mean, you basically have people right now, other hosts of various shows, whether it be celestial radio, whether it be internet radio, whether it be other podcasters like myself that are talking about this, basically saying that, do something, make sure that it's not over a populated area. You don't want it to land on your neighbor's house, but you see them out and about in a place that isn't heavily populated, take a little green laser and, shine it on the stinking thing to disable it and bring it down. That's what you have so many people talking about. And in which case, yes, do that. I highly recommend it. Bring these puppies out of the sky. It's been going on for a month. They're trying to tell us that it ain't no threat, even though they're telling us to beware, be careful, don't get around them, have a Geiger counter, bring bomb squads. I mean, it's just none of this makes sense. Both of these things cannot be true at the same time. Take them down. I mean, I don't know whether some of these things are low enough that you could do it. It kind of seems like they are. But it appears to be that these things are doing recon missions. That's kind of what it looks like to me. Hovering over critical infrastructure like bridges, different buildings. They are over bases, military bases. Following Coast Guard. And they're on the coast. Whether they are being launched from a container somewhere, or whether they are being launched from a ship off our coast, don't know. The federal government would have you believe that no, this is not happening. There's no ship off the coast that these things are being launched from. No mother ship that is launching these devices. No. Even though we've had, numerous accounts of them coming in from the ocean. And of course, they're over on the East Coast and over on the West Coast. They're telling us no on that one. And of which case, whenever they tell us no, especially considering how much they like to lie on us about everything, I have a hard time believing it. I really do. All right, we're going to go ahead and take another quick break. And when I return, we are going to be talking about more pardons that the president has been doing. I mean, holy crap. Yeah, there we go. All right, just a couple minutes and I will be right back.
This throne of cold despair, shadows crawl as silence fills the air. Walls are whispering secrets of old, a palace of sorrow and stories untold. walls are cracked like the lines of fate. Echoes dance in this lonely state. Ceramic kingdom where darkness reigns. Whispers of anguish in ancient chains. Flush away the tears of night in a porcelain palace void of light. Drowned in misery, silent plea. Lost in the echoes of what used to be. A throne of solitude in dim-lit space. Reflections haunt in this ghostly place. Waters murmur a haunting tune in the porcelain prison under the new moon. Locks of sorrow and dread's embrace. No escape from this lifeless place. Veil of shadow wraps around tight, drenching every moment in the absence of light. Flush away the tears of night in a porcelain palace void of light. Drowned in misery, silent plea. Lost in the echoes of what used to be.
Do you love your occasional Mexican dish or your musical fruit? Are you tired of walking by family members and crop dusting them? Well, if this has ever happened to you, might I introduce you to Tampons brand butt plugs. Tampons brand butt plugs is that particular type of butt plug that allows you to walk in public in confidence knowing that you're not going to accidentally crop dust somebody. Tampons brand butt plugs now with the plastic applicator.
Not just for women anymore.
Tampons brand butt plugs. All right, and we are back. So we got a couple things we're going to be talking about this segment. This one, let's just start off here. Headline from the Washington Free Beacon. Biden commutes 1,500 sentences in one day, shattering the record. This is, holy crap. Did y'all hear about this? Commuting 1,500 sentences in one day. I mean, holy cow. He commuted the sentences of nearly 1,500 individuals and pardoned another 39, breaking the record for the largest grant of clemency in a single day, the White House announced on Thursday. The White House said that those granted clemency have shown successful rehabilitation and a strong commitment to making their communities safer. Most of the individuals who were issued commutations, which leaves a guilty verdict intact but lessens some or all punishments, have been placed in home confinement during COVID-19 under the CARES Act, and 39 pardoned individuals were convicted of nonviolent crimes, including drug offenses. Okay. Biden's unprecedented move for surpassing former President Barack Obama's 330 commutations, the second largest single-day act of clemency, according to Politico. You know, it seems as though what Biden is doing, or, I'm sorry, what the Biden administration is doing, what Barack Obama is doing, what they are doing is trying to hide who they really want to pardon by just pardoning a butt ton of people. This headline from the Daily Signal: broad new precedent, Biden issuing preemptive pardons to Trump opponents would be big expansion of power. And yeah, it would be, because, here's the thing. All right. I kind of talked about this last week. I don't know if I really lined it up quite like this or not. So I'm going to go ahead and do it quickly and simply. A preemptive pardon, is that even legal? I have no idea. And I don't think it is, because it's never actually happened in history. Because every other time in history, there is at least an offense that is named. With the pardoning of Nixon, there was an offense. He hadn't been charged with anything yet. It was a preemptive pardon. But again, it was associated with an offense that was committed. Offense. With the, during the Civil War, there was an offense that was stated. People were not, but it was pardoning from an offense. This is what you did wrong. Here's the offense that I am naming, and this is the offense that I am pardoning you for. In every other case, there has at least been an offense that has been noted. A crime committed, whatever, an offense. Something that somebody or a group of people or whatever did wrong. And yes, it's been done, it's precedented, okay, fine. But what Biden did with his son, that's never been done. There's no precedent protecting him. He didn't even go through proper channels to do it. To just give somebody a blanket pardon, I honestly don't know if it is even legal, whether it's constitutional, because there was no offense that was noted. Joe Biden did not say what his son was guilty of. All we know is that he is guilty of something. Otherwise, why would he have a pardon? And they're talking about doing a preemptive pardon for a lot of different people. Even Bill Clinton is saying, maybe we should pardon Hillary Clinton for her mishandling of classified information. And of which case, yeah, Trump can go after him. Trump can go after all kinds of people. Christopher Wray, Dr. Fauci, lying to the American people about the COVIDs, about the gain of function research that he funded and backed and supported. I mean, these are things that are illegal. And yet Dr. Fauci did it. There are people out there that are saying that, we need to rise above. We need to be better. We need to, not do this. We need to move on. You know what? Trump tried that once already. He really did. Trump did that with Hillary Clinton, not, telling the attorney general, telling them not to prosecute Hillary Clinton for the mishandling of classified information. He could have gone after them for that. He chose not to, because he's like, you know what? Here in America, we just don't do that. We have decorum. We have right and wrong, but I'm just not going to go after my political adversary. It's just not the best optics. But what happened to him? The left didn't give a shit about the optics. They went after him. They didn't care. They went after him. They went after him hardcore. They went after his supporters. The whole decorum has been thrown out the window. We have a new precedent that has been formed, and has been formed by the Democrats. And how dare they tell us how we are going to conduct ourselves in this new political sphere, considering they're the ones that started this. You know, this is something that we said regarding the, the attack on Israel. You can't punch somebody in the face and then talk about rules of engagement and then back out of it and say, nope, you win, I give up. No. You asked for this fight. Don't be surprised whenever it comes on your doorstep. When it knocks on your door. You can't be surprised. This whole thing is ridiculous. It really is. Did Biden overreach whenever he preemptively pardoned his son, Hunter? I think he did. There's no precedence for it. There's, the other people whom, that they are wanting Biden to pardon, preemptive pardons. Adam Schiff, Liz Cheney, Dr. Anthony Fauci. These are just some of the people that they're wanting him to pardon preemptively to keep Trump from going after them because of laws that they have violated. Let's be clear. That's the thing that we're talking about, okay? President Trump, what did he do? Nothing. Nothing wrong, nothing illegal. He didn't do jack diddly squat. They went after him. What did Liz Cheney do? Well, she destroyed evidence regarding the January 6th committee. What did Dr. Anthony Fauci do? Well, he gain of function research. What did Adam Schiff do? He lied, defamation of character, and other things. You have a lot of people that are guilty of a lot of different things, crimes, actual crimes that were violated, that were broken. And these people expect there not to be any consequences whatsoever. I mean, here's the thing, man. As far as I'm concerned, the worst possible thing that we can do as American citizens, as Republicans, as you know what, just as American citizens, the absolute worst thing that we can do is be okay with nothing happening. Laws were violated. Laws were broken. Crimes were committed. Period. End of story. We already know these things has happened. Okay. Hillary Clinton, Liz Cheney, Adam Schiff, Dr. Anthony Fauci. We know this already. It's not a question. Hunter Biden. We know these things. We know things. We know this. Laws broken. Crimes committed. Investigations have already been done. People have already come out and admitted these things under their own free accord. If we decide to do nothing, then what's to stop them from doing these things again? Going after political adversaries, locking up protesters who just don't agree with the current administration. A people should never be afraid of their government. Government should always be afraid of their people. What they're basically doing is asking for a get out of jail free card. That's what they're asking for. And there's nothing constitutional about this. There's nothing in the precedent that supports this. And our founding fathers, I mean, I have a hard time believing that our founding fathers would want a president to pardon people for committing these crimes to where they don't get any punishment whatsoever for the crimes they commit. They believed in a one-tier justice system, not a two-tier. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. What's good for... Never mind. They believed these things. I mean, of course they did. Oh, I'm already on that one. The worst thing we can do is absolutely nothing. God's honest truth, that's what it amounts to. If you want these things to stop, then there has to be a punishment for committing these crimes. If you do nothing, there's nothing stopping them from doing it again. Do we want it to continue, or do we want this type of behavior to stop? I, for one, I want this kind of behavior to stop. I really do. Dave put in there, he goes, another great tune. Who was that? I actually put these together using Suno, SUNO.com. You know, they allow, you know, you basically put in a prompt and AI generated music, and in which case I think is kind of neat. That's what I've been using on these is SUNO. And he also put in here, how did he stay awake and alert? My guess, there was a bulk pardon switch where he did them a few hundred at a time. And you know what? Yeah, you're right. I mean, we know that he didn't sign his name to 1,500, sheets of paper granting a pardon. Yeah, we know that didn't happen. I mean, of course, there was a little electronic signature thing that was used. No, he didn't stay awake for all these. He may not even have known what happened. I mean, that's possible. He didn't even know. All right, moving on. I got something else that I want to talk about during this segment, and that is, hold on. You know what? Before we do that, let me take a drink. Let me just drink a coffee. Oh, that's good coffee. That's good coffee. There we go. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is a tale of two people. We're going to be talking about Daniel Penny and Luigi Mangione. I don't know. Luigi. We're talking about him. So for those of you that do not know, Daniel Penny, he was acquitted on Monday of the charge of the criminally negligent homicide of Jordan Neely after a New York jury was unable to come to an agreement on the more severe charge of manslaughter. This headline comes from the American Conservative. Daniel Penny found not guilty of criminal negligent homicide and not guilty of, where'd he go? Manslaughter, I believe. Anyway, yeah, he was found not guilty. There you go, as it should be. Because here's the thing. What happened was you had a guy, race unimportant, that was on a subway, in a subway car, who was acting a fool. This person was threatening the lives of other people in this subway car. He was homeless. possibly deranged. I think they said that he was schizophrenic. He was a danger to himself and others. Daniel Penny stepped in, put a chokehold on him. Officers and paramedics arrived. Whenever the officers were there, Jordan Neely was still alive. I'm not exactly sure when he died, whether it was on the way to the hospital, whether it was in the hospital, I do not know. But people that arrived on the scene, the police officers that were there immediately, they were like, no. They refused to do CPR. They refused to do anything to help Jordan Neely. They refused to do anything because they were like, oh, well, he's homeless. He's kind of dirty. And we don't want to get hepatitis. We don't want that. So we are going to refuse to do any life-saving treatment, anything to him whatsoever. They refused to give him CPR. Okay. So it seems as though at the time Daniel Penny was taken into custody, not necessarily arrested on the scene, but he was taken into custody. At the time he left, Jordan Neely was still alive because he did not know that Jordan Neely had died. So you have Daniel Penny, whom did the right thing. Intervened with somebody whom was threatening the lives of other people on the subway car. It's just that simple. And after his acquittal, you have so many people that are absolutely against Daniel Penny. You have Jordan Neely being, he's the next next black hero, because Jordan Neely was black, Daniel Penny was white. That doesn't matter. In the course of events, it wouldn't matter if Jordan Neely was white and Daniel Penny was black. It wouldn't matter, because the facts of the matter is you have a guy that stood up, did the right thing to protect other people in the subway car from somebody who had threatened their lives. That's the fact of the case. Daniel Penny is a hero. He did what nobody else was willing to do to protect the lives of his fellow individuals, a former U.S. Marine. He defended people. And the backlash against Daniel Penny really says, I don't want to say that it sets the stage or it really says what, citizens of New York really believe. I don't believe that. I really don't. You get the government you ask for. But I do believe that this seems like something that is, the voice of the minority is really, really loud, because it has to make up for being the minority. So it's got to be loud in order to be heard. But you have so many people that are speaking out against Daniel Penny, people that are protesting him, people that are, Jordan Neely needs to be, it's ridiculous what's going on. Daniel Penny is a hero. And what I want to know is this what they want? For people like Daniel Penny to be prosecuted, to be sent to jail for doing the right thing? to where nobody steps in on their behalf? Nobody steps in and does the right thing. The people like Jordan Neely are just allowed to rampage and kill and threaten and beat up and harass everybody. Out of control criminals. That's what we got. Out of control criminals. I don't get it. I really don't. And then you got Luigi. Somebody whom targeted the let me find that here. The alleged killer of health insurance executive Brian Thompson on a New York City street. And apparently he's only being charged with second-degree murder, which I don't quite understand this because, here's the thing. You have the degrees of murder that are based off of different things. The things that separate first-degree murder from second-degree murder is, pre-planning. And it seems as though very much that he pre-planned this murder. He should be getting charged with first-degree murder, but whatever. Sometimes the prosecution will prosecute for what they think they'll be able to get, maybe not necessarily what the person actually did, which could be why they're being charged with second-degree murder instead of first-degree murder, because they think it'll be they think they'll have an easier time getting a conviction for second-degree murder versus first-degree murder, in which case I can, I can kind of understand that frame of mind, but at the same time, it's like the degrees matter. It really does. It really does. And in which case, this headline is from the National Review. Why isn't Luigi charged with first-degree murder? Because he should be. He pre-planned this. He was standing there in wait. Oh, yeah, here we go. New York Times. Luigi, the suspected United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson assassin, looks to be another deluded lefty. Huh. Got some video playing of him. And, okay, there we go. But you have a huge difference in how these two people are being treated by legacy media, by the press, by the public. You have Daniel Penny, who's being condemned for standing up and doing the right thing, defending the citizens of New York on that train car. He is being persecuted for doing the right thing. And you have Luigi, the suspected assassin of the United Healthcare CEO, Brian Thompson, and this guy is being praised, being looked at favorably. Something that I find to be completely disgusting. And they're using this as as something to promote single-payer health care. They're basically saying that, Brian Thompson was an evil man that deserved what he got. What? Are you serious? That's really what you're going to say? Do we not value life anymore in this country? Do we not? I mean, are we really that sick in the head to be okay with the murder? Holy crap. But are we that far gone? I mean, that's the question. And are we really that far gone? Dave put in here, he goes, holy crap. Okay, so I had my coffee earlier after 8.5 hours of sleep, and I still dozed off in the chair during your show. No offense. Probably a thyroid thing. You know, it happens, dude. It does. It happens. Like the famous line from the movie Casablanca, out of all the days and all the train cars and all the people, how did Jordan Neely and Penny arrive in the same train at the same time during a specific moment? A specific moment. I'm not religious, but there is way more that it coincide. Yeah. This is way more than a coincidence. This was something that we needed to show that it's not always racial. This was about a human being, a hero, stepping up to protect other humans. Exactly, Dave. And that's what I'm saying. You know, I mean, this is the thing, man. I mean, whenever you're talking to people on the right, we don't care. We don't care about race. We really don't. You know, we don't care about, it's not about race. We don't care. I don't care the color of somebody. I just don't. I mean, dude, I'm a truck driver. I go everywhere. I run into and meet all kinds of people. I could care less about race. You know, I'll have a conversation with anybody. I really will. I'll sit down. I'll have a conversation with whomever. It doesn't matter to me. It ain't about color. It ain't about religion. It ain't about any of that stuff. We don't care. It seems to me that the only people who truly care about race is people on the left, because the right don't care. It's about merit. It's about what kind of a person you are. That's what it's about. It's not about race. It's not about color. It's not about creed. It's just not. We don't care. And I'll speak for myself on this. I can't speak for everybody on this, but I'll speak for myself. And I think that this is pretty common amongst most everybody. I'm not even going to make this a right and left kind of a thing. I think this is, you know, common amongst most people. Most people don't care. Most people are beyond racism. Most people are adult enough. You know, and I'm not even going to say that, you know, it's like, okay, you love somebody despite something, okay, despite race. You like them, you talk to them, you care about them. No. That's not even part of it. That's not even it at all. It's not liking somebody or talking to somebody or, you know, interacting with somebody despite their race, color, creed, what have you. It's, you know, with me, it doesn't even enter into the equation at all. It's not despite. It's not part of the equation. E equals MC squared. Energy, mass, and whatever. It's not part of the equation. Gravity, yeah, whatever. It's not despite. It doesn't even enter into the equation. It's not a factor. It's not relevant. It doesn't matter. It's not about race. It's about merit. It's about who you are. Dave put in there, he goes, did you see the clip of the woman on Piers Morgan's uncensored TV show who celebrated the death of the United Healthcare CEO? It's amazing. She says it clearly and without any reservation. Yes, I did see that, actually. And that was one of the things that was like, holy crap, are you kidding me? You know, but what was interesting about this is she said that she found joy in what happened to the CEO. And then Piers Morgan kind of punch back. You know, he challenged her. And she was like, oh, well, you know, that's not really what I mean. And she started backpedaling immediately whenever she wasn't getting the support of Piers Morgan. That I found interesting. You know, these people are only going to talk their Bravo Sierra whenever they're not being challenged. You know, because you have these people so often, so much of the time, that they live in an echo chamber. You know, they live in their glass little house, but they live in an echo chamber. They live in a bubble where they're not challenged by people who hold different views than they do. And that's one of the reasons as to why they feel so empowered to speak the Bravo Sierra that they speak. But yeah, I mean, I did see that clip. I also seen Piers Morgan challenge her on what she said. And she immediately backpedaled, trying to say that she didn't say what she actually said. And it's clear what she said. It's clear what she meant. And it's also clear that she was gutless after she was challenged. Yeah. Completely and utterly gutless. All right, guys, that is all I got for you today. That is it. But I do have, before we part ways, I have an announcement to make. Holy crap. Now, this is something I am quite excited about. I was able to move the time frame up a little bit. Now, mind you, I have not sent any emails out regarding what it is I'm going to talk about because I'm not done yet. You know, I got some work to do, just telling you. But WSPradio.com is live. You can head over there now. The show is actually running right now. But like I said, I got quite a bit of work left to do over there. And in which case, you know, the link for this is down in the description below. That is WSPradio.com. The internet radio station is live right now. And this show is currently on the air. Yay! So yeah, I'm excited about it. I really am. Now I got a lot of work to do. I really do. Dave put in here, he goes, oh yeah, Joy. She mentioned Joy. I mean, come on. I'm all for free speech, but she should lose it. She should lose a lot of credibility. Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. But anyway, so WSPradio.com is a thing. And like I said, I'm excited about it. Now, look, I haven't sent out the emails yet to, you know, let people know to get all this stuff done because I still got a lot of work to do. I'm downloading and uploading, you know, audio. I'm getting the schedule done, getting everything put together. There's still a lot of work to do. I just more or less started doing this, you know, last night, like at 9 o'clock, and was working on it earlier today. So, I mean, there's still a lot of work to do. I got the schedule that I still need to get done. I have a lot of stuff that is in there, but there's a lot of work to do. There really is. I mean, there's a lot of work to do, man. WSPradio.com. Yes, dude, yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it. WSPradio.com. Now, there's a lot of reworking I'm going to end up doing to the website, all of, you know, HoHo Studios stuff, HoHoStudios.com, the HoHoShow.com, you know, all the live, the WSPradio.com. I mean, there's a lot of work to do. I'm going to be revamping some things and redoing a few things on the website. However, it is live and live now. So you can head on over to, and let me just pull it up and show you what it is. WSPradio.com. Pulling it up. There it is. Internet radio station. And it's, really, is that? That shouldn't be. Pulling it up. There, see, there it is. See, that was me. Oh. So yeah, doing that, the schedule, there you go. And I'm, you know, like I said, I got a lot of work to do on here, and this is not what the finished product is going to look like by any means whatsoever. I just threw it in there to have it on there. I'm going to be, redoing a bunch of stuff and working on the page, working on everything. That is happening. I am doing that, but there's a lot of things to put in the schedule and to get in there. So yeah, I'm excited about it. I really am. I'm excited. WSPradio.com. That's cool. Yippers. Dave says, that's cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, so WSP Radio, you can check it out. You can listen whenever. It is on demand. Not on demand. It's an internet radio station, 24/7 content. And like I said, I got a lot of things to put in there, a lot of scheduling to do. I haven't done a lot. I didn't have a lot that I was able to do before I went live today. But there will be, when I get things finished, that's whenever I'll send the email out. When I get it finished, and it might be like the week of Christmas before I get everything done. I'm just going to be working on it as I'm able to, because it's going to be, it's an aspect of, I'm a truck driver. I'm gone a lot. I don't always have, the ability to just work on something like that. So it's going to be as I'm able to get everything done, put it together, a lot of work to do. I'm excited about it. And I hope that you all are too. So that is all I got for y'all today. That is it. I definitely appreciate y'all stopping by, for participating in the show. A great thanks to all of you. Very much so. And so until next time, y'all have yourself a great one. This has been The HoHo Show. For more information, you can head to thehohoshow.com. And for the merchandise store, you can head on over to stinkpickle.com. That is stinkpickle.com. Until next time.